we started playing with being able to make different loop-de-loops so that we can start more interestingly playing with geometry as we're spinning poi. Instead of just making circles, when your hand's kind of still on a circle making a weave, we can start playing with making loop-de-loops, which can turn into flower patterns or linear patterns or all sorts of patterns. And I'll need a partner. Anybody want to demonstrate? He's my human poi. I'm going to hold arms like this, and I'm going to spin him around. I'm not trying to like throw him into a wall or anything here. So I'm just leading him around as though he's the human poi. So let's say I want to bring him over to the right there. There's two ways I can do that. When I'm facing away from the right, I can pull him with me like so, and that accelerates him and draws him out into an arc. Most people are familiar with an extension or a sort of expanding move. The other move that is similar to a loop is that when I'm pointing him that way and I'm looking the way I want to go, if I just move that way, I'll effortlessly overtake him. He sort of does this little loop-de-loop footwork out of the way, and then I pull him along. So we did that to really get the feel for how loops and arcs work. So with poi, the same sort of idea is that if I'm going to move my hand across to here, if I do so when the poi is the farthest away, I'm going to stretch it over in an arc, and that accelerates what's going on with the poi. On the other hand, if I move right when the poi is here, kind of pointing in the direction that I'm going to move my hand, all of its momentum really just wants to go down. And so when I move my hand, it just sort of makes this little loop-de-loop down, and I lose tension. It's sort of like this relaxing of what the poi is doing. So my hand effortlessly moves over the top, and then I feel a little tug as I pull out of the loop. You can do the same thing as the poi swinging up, pointing that way. I move my hand underneath it, and it makes a loop. And we can do that top to bottom, bottom to top, and just practice these different ways that we can make loops. And when you get comfortable with that movement, this loop is sort of the basic building block or a brush stroke that you've gotten comfortable with that you can use to paint your flower patterns or even just linear movements. And of course, once you've gotten comfortable with both of your hands, you can start playing with that idea in different ways with both hands. That will eventually turn into different types of flower patterns. And here's an interesting one that I've been doing that involves loops, but I'm snaking them around my body. So if I'm high and low, we know that if I move from low to high or high to low, I make little horizontal loop-de-loops. If I do that around my body, it makes this interesting tracing pattern around my body, but it's still making loops right around my shoulders. Then I can start turning that and making different loops in different places, which is pretty fun. We also applied the idea of making arcs and loops to learn how to do a triquetra anti-spin pattern easy. That's a 3-petal anti-spin pattern. It looks like this, and we learned one where the triangular shape of the triquetra has a loop pointing up, but you can do them all over the place. You can point them sideways or down. The easy way to learn that is to make your legs like a triangle and start sort of down here at the base of the triangle. And as your poi is swinging up past your arm, move it up to make a loop at the top of the triangle and then down to the other leg. When you get there, as your poi is swinging around towards you, drag an arc back to the other foot. When you put that together without extra rotations, you get a loop and an arc, and a loop and an arc. Points up, points up, points up, points up. And you're actually getting the two loops at your feet for free, basically, when you think of it this way. So eventually you'll actually realize, oh, I've got a loop there, 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 there. Up, foot, foot, up, foot, foot. I'm getting loops there, and I'm also getting an arc there, 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 there. So there's actually 3 loops and 3 arcs. But all you have to do is focus on 1 loop and 1 arc at first to make it easy to learn. From there, instead of making a really angular triangle, you can take that feeling and sort of just start smoothing it out until it's a nice arm circle. And you can play with it either way. Make it a smooth circle, make it an angular feeling triangle, whatever you want to do. I talked a little bit about spinning in a hallway. That when you're spinning your poi in parallel planes, you essentially have a wall on either side of your body framing you. So if I'm in a hallway, my poi are the hallway, I can look, north up the hallway. I can turn and look west at a hallway wall. I can look south down the hallway. Or I can look east at the other hallway wall. Right now, my one poi is drawing a circle on one hallway wall and on one on the other hallway wall. And if I make just a quarter turn, I'm going to end up in wall plane just drawing circles on one wall where I can do some different things. If I make another quarter turn, I'm facing the other way down the hallway where I can do other sorts of movements where I'm circling on both walls of the hallway. If I make another quarter turn, once again I'm in the other wall plane. And one more quarter turn gets me back to where I was, facing down the hallway. We really want to learn how to do that just circling our arms. Because our poi don't have joints in them. Our poi can spin around however you want them to. But our arms have a range of motion where sooner or later your shoulder can't bend that way anymore. So we played around with split time, same direction, like swimming in the hallway. My feet are pointing forward. No matter how twisted up I get, my feet are the most honest thing about which way my body are facing. So I'm facing forward, but my torso is twisting in order to complete these circles. Because my torso is twisting, it can be, I can get overzealous about that torso twist and start twisting too much and throw my spinning off. So like from the front, right? I could be swimming like this, but I could also start to kind of spin too much and my planes will get funny. And if I have poi in my hands doing that, the poi are going to wobble way off plane. I want two volunteers. With some partners here, let's put a left back, right forward. We can all circle our arms forward, down, back, up, forward, down, back.
Oh my
Here, hold on, right. So being able to do this with some partners, or maybe like a tree or a post, something like that you can put in front or behind you, you'll test to see whether you're actually keeping your plane straight or if they're wobbling too much and sort of brushing up against your partner. So that's a very good practice.